what is forex, but hore risky ra etsa daideni be all academic ketele boring, or let's just put it in simple terms fela or in forex ntho re batlang is to buy something. However, we have a graph, so we just want to buy something or sell something, and we want to buy and sell at a certain price. So let's say something price $1, $2, $3. So however anything can be anything from one country to another. Ebe Lesotho le batla go rekisetsa South Africa something, so price at the moment it will be $1, and a buy and a seller ba kopana, and when they make the transaction they agree okay no re dumelana ka hore for this thing go rekisetsana ka $1, and the other one agrees yes, I'm buying it at $1, no problem. So haeba ntho value yone e ka nyoloha, we will see it eba more expensive, e tla fihla ho $2, and high low $2, if hona le motho a ka batlang ho e reka, they'll still buy it and the seller will be happy. But if it loses value, it can go all the way back to being $1 again. So all the time in the forex market, there's always a price and that people be they're ready to buy at that price or sell at that price. But at every given moment, people are transacting from this country to another country. So that's basically it about forex. Doesn't even have to be into it hard and get into the academic stuff, but we can just put it in simple terms. It's about buying something from this country A, buying something from country A, buying something maybe from country A to country B. So transaction is in it from country A to country B, or from country B to country A. So hotla bona le codes, codes, and by codes we define or na price ya ntho e itseng ke efeng. So ka ha in the forex market we are dealing ka chelete, exactly, not just hore na an apple ke bokae, but mona na e tla be le selling currency e nngwe against currency e nngwe. So if we have South African rand, re tla be re bona okay, how many South African rands does it take to have $1? So the economy of the United States versus South Africa, the quotation it will be on platforms for $1 o hloka 15.5 South African rands. So it will be le code e tla be re fuwe e le jwalo hore for $1 you need 15 South African rands. So anytime motho a na le $1 and a batla diranta, o tlotla a for 15 rand, so that's just how simple it is. So move on here to something else. So now that we are comparing currency e nngwe ho currency e nngwe hape, to make this thing simple, re ba le charts, the forex charts. These forex charts, they show us every single day, every single hour, every single minute, second of hore na tsatsing lenana $1 e lekana le ranta tse kae, right? 15.8 or 0.5 depending on ke nako mang, and the economic factors tse pushang hore price e be bokalo na ke difeng ho etsalang in the economy of South Africa or ho etsalang in the economy of the United States. So every factor etsalang economically naheng e itseng e tlotla e affecta currency strength, kapo e ka etsa be strong or e be weak depending on how he etsala. So hona jenana haeba neneng hona le ntho le meeting o itseng in the United States whereby the United States ba tlo bua ka hore okay coronavirus ke ena ne re affectile hampe, but molemo hore mesebetsi ska lahleha re tlotla re fana ka tjhelete itseng ho dikgwebo tse itshokolang, so that batho bana ba tla ba kgona hore ba itsupporte ba etse tjenana kgwebo tsa bona se ke tsa wela because of di-customer tse tla di ba teng for nako ya lockdown. So ha the United States etsa ntho tse kang tseno, currency yona it will see a rise, e tla nyoloha because now people ba tlotla ba supported and ba tlotla ba ntse ba tswela pele ho sebetsa despite the pandemic. Ibe South Africa on the other hand yona, when the pandemic hits hard, e bontsha hore ashe ga ba tlotla ba fana ka tjhelete such ba encourage batho hore ba ye high, ke mo tlotla o bona currency ya South Africa yona on the other hand ya tlase against the dollar. So ha the dollar yona batho hana ba announce hore ba tlotla ba thusa dikgwebo tse itshokola hore di tsebe hore di ne di tswele pele, currency ya teng ya nyoloha. That is seen as positive for the dollar, for the economy and for the people overall. But on the other hand, in South Africa, the government doesn't do much to support the small business or the survivors. They didn't include the well, which is what happened in 2020. But I think Moshalona is the easiest to show the currency, the drive like bokana. So haiba before pandemic hit, dollar ile nngwe he inelekana le 13 rands. Before the pandemic hits, ilimbo leveling in $1 in 13 rands, and then even by the time the pandemic hits, and then the governments did those measures in order to tackle the pandemic and all. How you see when I this positive report, ya hore totla fana ka stimulus package hore batho ba tsebe hore ba nne ba tswele pele ka mesebetsi. The South Africa on the other hand doesn't do much. In fact, ha itse batho ba lla go di a kwalo he tsalang dollar lo le tloa mona mo ine le 13 rand ebe intse nyoloha intse ba turu against the rand. So it means haeba pele inele 13 rand tje dollar ha taba tse di etsala, South Africa it's much about the situation, but United States it's much about the situation. It will get the fihla mo kabang as high as 17 rands. So dollar re le nngwe it will about turu haholo against the South African rand, because South Africa it tla be loser value ya yona because it did not do much about situation in in the country. So that's one of the things that drive the currency hore be nngwe e ba stronger e ba weaker. So by the time e leng hore in South Africa here President Ramaphosa will let a meeting and talk about okay, now the government is going to do this and this and this in order to support the economy risk. We will see the rand in lower in value against the dollar, if at the same time dollar on a chair it identifies a little at that moment. So this means whatever dollar in 17.5, for example, dollar 17.5 has South Africa is something positive for the economy overall. Kimona more dollar it would like a wela how South African rand yona e matlafala against the dollar. So e ka nna khutlela e tloa from 17.5 all the way to 14.6 or somewhere there. So it tla eba ntho ene jalo e tla tloa from being 17.5 and then it be about 14.6. So this means already the dollar has fallen in value against the South African rand. So it will feel unusual until further notice, until the United States does something, South Africa does something, but the currency overall against they gain strength and lose strength depending on how it's inside the economy. So currency but basically in the forex we want to know now it's against the euro. It will be euro versus the dollar. Okay, euro against dollar, which one in the gainer strength, which one in the loser strength, and then the pound in Britain, short GBP against the dollar, and then it will be the dollar USD, short for dollar USD, versus the Canadian dollar. So the currency lines of focus also on, and the dollar USD against Swiss franc Switzerland. So yes, it I believe the Swiss franc. So re tla be re tutla re sheba, but tsena ke tse tsong tla re bua about all the others, but di mmalwanyana, but these ones are some of the major ones. And the dollar against the Japanese yen. So it I believe this will be the currencies that everyone's okay, what is happening at the euro against the dollar? What is happening at the pound against the dollar? What is happening at the dollar against the Canadian dollar? What is happening at the US dollar against the Swiss franc Ilenya Switzerland? What is happening at the dollar against the Japanese yen? So okay, so euro, are they doing things so that the euro appreciate in value against the dollar? Kappa dollar is stronger. So how do I about stronger? The euro falls. How the euro about stronger? The dollar falls. How na na kwe loring dika Hadiba strongly dipedi, or it's not likely, but sometimes the lore hoskabale ban too strong, so that's why it love manage fluctuate between price range itseng. Haya banening $1 1 USD elekana le 1.2 euros. Haya ba elekana le 1.2 euros. Ebe ho sasa ha o etsala something, it will be $1, it will be se lekana le 1.8 euros. So this means the euro it will be se lose its value depending on how no etsalang. But theoretically this is how this currency it will be gain a strength against the other one, while the other one loses strength against the other one. Hona tla bona those driving forces tse re tla re kena ho tsona tse nang le like two terms to talk about hore na currency di drive again. So re tla be re na le the technicals, technicals ko re na by market structure, the graph, ileng graph tsa common tse bonalang e tla be ile tsona tse bontsha gona go itsalang engwe lose strength to what point le gona go itsalang. And then tla be re na le di fundamentals, fundamentals ke di economic reports, bo inflation, core CPI, but those are the topics for later discussions. But basically, the fundamentals, it will be in the economy from the macro perspective. What is the president doing? What is the Bank of England doing? What is the Bank of Australia doing? Federal Reserve ya America e etsang. So decisions tse batho ba di etsang di driver the markets hore di ketelle di tloa from price A to price B, and the technical part yona ke di graph. Re tla be re sheba graph okay ntho ena na inile mona ya monana euro against dollar inile pointing in, from pointing in ela fihla mona na e fihla mona na e be wela. Okay, what happened to well, we don't know, but from what we see ka maore well e la ketela nyolwa hape, and now where is it? It is standing level nyaneng e seng e lekana le mo ene le teng before it fell. So what do we do mona? Re tla be se re sheba bona technically what can we do ha price ya euro against dollar if it to a certain level, and that will be a topic for us to recover both into the technicals and the fundamentals. So basically this is just an introduction fella of an forex is just exchange between currency to another one, or moving something from country A to country B, got the prices and all. And but here guys, forex trading the currency ya euro versus ya dollar, the pound versus the dollar, the US dollar versus the Canadian dollar, so re tla recover hore na, cause on we're just talking, this is just the sketches tsa gafo fela. So for the next meeting re tla be se re bua ka hore na jwale where do we see these things happening, where do we see prices tsenana tsa euro against dollar, where do we see this happening, re bona kae, and hore re ke re nka di decision e bile ba re bone kae ho etsala eng. So that is we're going to talk about ntho eno na se ha se re kena on to another topic to not make this whole video a bit loud. And if re GBP e wetsa against the dollar re bona kae, and how do we say e wele re bone eng and stuff